Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Well, hello my renegades, and we are back to the lovely Love Island USA series 5, and we are now on episode 8. And just before I get into it, as I'm always going to say, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know when I am back on making videos. And I am continuing to be on the road to 1k. So let's get into it. So we know from the last episode the shit went down, like then shit went down between Carmen, Bergie and Victor, or more so between Carmen and Victor and her how can I put it, and her not really wanting to accept responsibility for her piss poor behaviour, and her invalidating the feelings of Victor, her invalidating the feelings of Hannah in regards to giving her the snake, and then putting Bergie in a position where he shouldn't have been placed in the first place. So as we go on now, you see Bergie, Carmen after the talk with Victor takes Bergie and goes up in wherever it is they go to have a little chat with him, and all you see is Victor just eyeing them, because this man really believes that Bergie is no competition. He doesn't really believe that Carmen is into Bergie as she's trying to portray that she's into Bergie, and believes that Carmen is playing a wicked game. All I can say is the 3 people out of the stuff that I've watched that I would have given the snakes to would have been Cassie, would have been Leo, and would have been Carmen. That's the 3 people I would have given the bloody snakes to, because my God, their behaviour is piss poor. Sometimes I think to myself, how in the hell do they manage to really form relationships outside of somewhere like the villa if this is how they carry on with their partners? Like, really, when and truly, if this is how they carry on with their partners, and they're putting this out on Big Bride TV, when they come out of there, who is really going to want to deal with all that bullshit? Because I wouldn't, because looks a 10 a penny at the end of the day. Looks a 10 a penny at the end of the day, and it's the personality for me that counts. And this is why I keep thinking these people literally showing their asses when it comes to Bergie as well, because looks a 10 a penny, but their projection is about looks. How they see people is about looks first, and then everything else afterwards. Because if they weren't thinking about looks, then they wouldn't overlook Bergie the way that they do overlook Bergie, because they full on disrespect this man. They draw him in and then push him off, and it's flipping disgusting, like absolutely disgusting. So basically, in regards to Bergie and what Carmen did, Bergie saw it as Carmen picked him. Basically, Carmen chose him over someone like Victor, basically, and he felt he won in that instance, and basically was open to everything Carmen, just open to everything Carmen, and ready to go back to how it used to be in terms of how they would chat, and then making her coffee. But he's also got Cassie, so he was making coffee for Cassie and Carmen. But that's the thing, I think Carmen missed the little puppy dog Bergie that would trail behind her, make her coffees and feed into her, in terms of being kind, in terms of doing things for her, and literally just being on the same level pegging field when it came to them talking about their history, because they're both from the same place and they both had the same kind of upbringing. So for her, he felt like home is what she was saying. Now that doesn't necessarily to compute into I want to be with this person and I want to have a relationship with this person. She just decided that she was going to start getting to know Bergie at the end of the day. But I do believe that Carmen is playing a very, 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 very good game, like a very good game, and the only person that can see it at the moment is Victor. The one thing that I will mention is what I noticed, like, through this episode, especially when I got up in the morning, is how Victor's behaviour changed towards Bergie, like making him feel uncomfortable, to the point where Bergie was not hanging out really with the lads. because he felt, I'm sure Bergie felt those instances of being uncomfortable around Victor, and all I was hoping that it wouldn't get to a bullying stage, because with Victor he would get certain people on board with him, and one of those certain people he would get on board with him would be Marco, because Marco don't know when to shut his bloody mouth. Marco's always in a something. He's always listening. He's always got his ear pressed to the door. He's a big old gossiper, is Marco. And that's the one person who I was hoping wouldn't jump right into the melee if Victor decided that he is going to ostracize Bergie, which he is starting to do, because you notice when Bergie goes and does his workout, he's doing it by himself. He isn't really involving himself with the lads, because Victor's made him feel that way. And that's how I'm seeing it. Victor has made him feel that way, made him feel that he can't get involved with the lads because of the shit that Carmen pulled. Because at the end of the day, it was Carmen's fault. She did what she did. She caused that whole situation, but no one's pulling her up in regards to causing that situation. So now Victor's ire is going to turn onto Bergie, and that's how it's going to happen. But then it didn't make it good in Bergie's favour, because Bergie, when he pulled Carmen for a chat again, decided to tell her what Victor had said in regards to her just seeing them as a friendship thing, and that's why he didn't pursue anything with her, because he was under the understanding that Carmen just saw it as a friendship thing. Now, that was the wrong thing to tell Carmen at the end of the day, because Carmen is one of those people where she will drag that person up and go and speak to that person in regards to what a person has said. So this is what I meant when I said Bergie should sometimes read the room and just think before he says something, and wonder to himself, if I put this out there in the atmosphere, what are the flipping consequences that are going to come back on me? That's what Bergie should have thought about, because he probably did not think in regards to him letting that out the bag, bearing in mind it was a boys' chat, and then letting it out the bag to Carmen at that point in time, because he thought him and Carmen were in something like that. And he didn't realise, I don't think, in his infinite wisdom, that she would then go and have that conversation and pull up Victor about it. So how that conversation then comes about is they get a text, and there's this game, this person's coming in, and they're going to do the Mr. and Mrs. game at the end of the day. I know it's someone from Vanderpump Rules. I don't watch the show, to be fair. I don't watch Vanderpump Rules, so I didn't particularly know who the person was. But anyway, the couples then had to go off and then talk about their interests, their likes, everything like that, for them to get to know each other quite quickly. So it's kind of a bit awkward when Carmen and Victor had to go do their shit, because we all knew that that conversation was going to go elsewhere, and it did. So basically it went right back to the situation at hand. So then Carmen then ends up bringing up the fact that she was told that he told Bergie that it was just a friendship vibe with her, and she was basically saying to Victor, when have I ever said that? When have I ever said that out of my mind, out of my mouth, that it's just going to be a friendship with people? Because at the end of the day, she said, I told you that I was going to get to know everybody in here. I never once said that I was gonna friendship zone anybody unless I really needed to, at the end of the day. So basically Carmen's very mad. Victor admits to, yes, he did say what he said, but this is why he thought she was thinking in terms of a friendship vibe, and he didn't say it with any malice. So basically Victor was saying one thing to Carmen, and then as time goes on, he literally, because he then gets mad at the fact that Carmen's decided at that point that that's it, they're done, they're just going to be friends from here on out. Victor got mad, went back in the bedroom while all the lads were sitting in there, and then decided to have a go at Bergie. Decided to have a go at Bergie for saying something to Carmen that was said in confidence, basically. Now, my thing is if you are going to have a chat with anybody about what anybody said, then you should turn around. First point of call is to say, this is said in confidence. Don't let this leave between me and you. As soon as you said that, then you know the other person, whether they can be trusted or not trusted. Because at the end of the day, things fly out. in chatter, things fly out in chatter at the end of the day. But if you've had that agreement with that person, then they know full well that they can't chat shit to nobody else about the shit that you've just told to them. At the end of the day, I can understand why Victor was angry with Bergie in the fact that he went and did what he did with Carmen, and then that scuppered his chances and fucked it all up for him. It was kind of fucked up anyway when the girl went and took Bergie in the challenge. It was fucked up for Victor anyway because she don't choose ya at the end of the day. But I understand where he was coming from in the fact that the things that I chat with you or chat within the group of us guys, nobody chat with the girls them. Don't bring it to the girls because all it does is causes issue. So I kind of understood where he was coming from with that. But what I didn't like is the fact that he went in there and he splayed it out in the way that he splayed it out towards Bergie. It was fucking awful. And got the guys all gung-ho with him as well. Well, not all the guys, more so Marco gung-ho with him as well in terms of saying certain things to Bergie. And this is where I was saying that it's a fine line when you're calling someone out on their behaviour between that and when it becomes bullying. And then to top it off, when Bergie asked Victor the question, well, did you say that? Did you said she meant it as friendship, but she didn't. Victor still said in front of Bergie and the rest of them that yes, she did say it was just friendship vibes, even though he'd already spoken to Carmen and said, well, no, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't know you didn't mean it as in friendship vibes and stuff like that. So he didn't necessarily know how Carmen meant anything. It was him putting his ideals onto the conversation that they had, and him probably batting guys away, and especially Bergie, because he kind of knew that she was kind of interested in Bergie. So he then put that seed of doubt in Bergie's mind. So he then went back on what he said to Carmen by saying to Bergie again, yes, she did say it was just a friendship thing. So Bergie's now taken that on board as well. So Carmen as well has gone and told all the girls that her and Victor are no more, that she's just ended things with Victor at the end of the day because she ain't going to have somebody tell her how she's thinking and feeling at any given time. But up on that one. But up. So then you get to the Mr. and Mrs. game. I'm not going to go through the whole gamut of who said what. But basically, questions were asked of the couples. They had to write down on the board, and whoever matched them correctly got it right, got a point. So the overall premise of the game is which couple wins was basically exempt from the public vote, so they could not be voted for at all, so they would be taken out of the vote. So it was a tie between Marco and Hannah, and I think Harrison and Destiny. It was a tie between them two. So Marco and Hannah got the penultimate question right. So they had to then go stand up next to the hostess, I should say. And basically they then had to choose another couple to basically be exempt from the public vote as well. So as I said, they ended up choosing Leo and Anna to be exempt from the public vote. So all the other couples are basically not exempt, and they'll be up for the public vote. We'll see. The person that I was hoping would go would be Cassie, but then saying that, if Cassie goes, I was like, if Cassie goes, Bergie goes, and then that would leave Carmen and Victor just being pissants together because there'd be no one for Carmen to go for. And then then I said if Victor goes, then Carmen will go. Then that will leave basically Bergie with the person that he wanted to really make things work with gone, basically. So then there'll be no point in Bergie staying within the villa at the end of the day. So that is where the episode ends. And it is a very short episode, but I will be back in quick succession with the next episode. So then I think in the next episode, they definitely say who is up for the public vote, who is saved and who is not saved, and what happens next, because they did have 24 hours and someone would have been dumped from the island. So my fellow renegades and everybody else and in between, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button for when you know I am back on and doing videos, which is going to be very, very, very soon. And I'll see you all later. Peace out.